All right. So before we go head on into writing up some MySQL inside of Visual Studio Code, I want to do a brief overview of Visual Studio Code for those who are not familiar with this platform. Okay, so that you can see, okay, some basics, how it works, how it looks, where things are. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so here I have Visual Studio Code open. Okay, and what we have here, this is, we have different panes or windows. So this window right here, this pane is where we will be writing our code. It's going to all be written right over here. We have this toolbar on the side that has a lot of different icons. They all mean a whole bunch of different stuff. Yours may look different from mine, especially if you just downloaded Visual Studio Code. Is going to look a little different from mine because I've added some things to it. But there's some basic things that are on there. The first thing is the Explorer. The Explorer here, this icon shows you all of the different folders and files that you have in whatever directory you're working in. Okay, so right now, as we get prepared to write code for our database, we can see here that album 25 DB, that's open right here, and that's where I'm located. So any files or folders that I have that are inside of the directory, they will be listed here on the side. We have a few icons here. We have this icon for a new file. So anytime I want to create a new file, I can do it right here inside of Visual Studio Code by clicking on it and naming the file right here. I'm going to just do a notes.txt because I like to add some notes to my stuff. So I'm just going to put a little notes file right here. Also, there's a new folder. So anytime I want to create a new folder, I click on that and I can create a new folder. I don't really fool with this refresh, explore, and collapse folders and explore. I don't do that. I don't touch those at all. Mainly over here, I just stay with these two particular icons: a new file and a new folder. Okay. We have the search icon. Obviously, this is used to like search anywhere. Like um, say I name a particular, uh, I give assign a variable to something, uh, food. Okay, and I want to change it from food to bar. So I can come over here and say search food, and it's going to look for food, and then I can replace it with bar or whatever. So that's something that's useful. I don't really play with that much because I kind of think about how I name things before I name them. Most of the time, not all the time, not perfect, but it's something that I do. Here, the extensions. Okay, extensions are different plugins that Visual Studio Code has that helps to make your performance and your experience in Visual Studio Code much better. Uh, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of stuff installed already in Visual Studio Code. A lot of it is themed. A lot of it are some other little plugins that are useful. One, let's see. Let's do one. Let's say where's the one that I know? I think yeah, indent rainbow. I think that's, let's see, I'm gonna disable it. No, I'm not. What you're gonna do is here inside of search extensions, you can search for an extension. So you can type, say, indent rainbow, and you can see that a bunch of extensions pop up, and you can select the one that you want, and then you'll see it'll read install, and you just click on install, and it'll install automatically. So you don't have to go and refresh Visual Studio Code in order for it to happen. Um, there are several other ones that I have. So like again, themes. Like if I want to, particular color, like this Atom one dark theme. If I want to use that, maybe I'll change that. So I'll set this as my color theme. So you can see now it changes the color of my Visual Studio Code window. It's probably better for you all in anyways. When it comes to themes, um, I'm the way I feel about it is, you want to have something that fits your character, whatever, be cool. But also keep in mind, if you're in the industry and you're working with a team, you want to have something that is readable, right? For somebody else who's going to be reviewing your code directly on your editor. So you may want to have a theme that is um, nice on the eyes. There's also this background which my coders in the past they showed me. I couldn't get it to work, but you could like have like a nice little cool background on your Visual Studio Code pane if you want. But let's see what else we got. I thought I set that theme. I set that. Yeah, I set that the color theme. All right. All right. What else do we have? Uh, like for the folks who want to do AI, there's IntelliCode. I'm not doing that. I'm not touching that. I got my own brain. Live server. Everyone needs to add this. Live server. So search for live server and add live server as an extension. Also, add live share as an extension. Live server creates a server, a development server inside of Visual Studio Code. This one right here. So you can spin up a little mini server inside of Visual Studio Code that will run the code that you're writing and it will update live. Now, it's especially useful for when you're doing front end development and you're building out web pages using that live server because it spins it up real quick. You don't have to go and refresh your browser every single time that you use it. And I don't think we'll be using it in this particular course, but it's a good one to have. Live share. Live share is this is a great one to have. With live share, what you're able to do is collaborate with someone else on a completely different laptop. Okay, let's say that Day is having some issues with his code. It's not working. He needs some help with something. He can through live share set up a collaboration session, send me the link to it. I get access to the link, and then from my computer, I can go make updates and edits to his code right there on the spot, and it saves automatically. Okay, so it doesn't matter what location that we're in. When you have live share, you can again start up a collaboration session and work with someone else live on one particular file instead of having to do it some other way. So it's pretty cool. Um, that's it. I mean, you can look for some other extensions if you want to. VS Code icons. I like that one just because it has cool icons. But yeah, in your spare time, go and look through all these extensions that are out there. Um, you may find them useful. Some of them are not useful. Being honest with you, just because it's an extension doesn't mean you should use it. You find the ones that fit the kind of work that you do. There's debug. Okay, so you can run this and do some debugging on your or immediately on your work. So it's a bunch of different things that are out there. Okay, and that's all in the extensions. Also, source control. We'll get into this a little later, but you can also push and make pull requests, make commits for your GitHub right here inside of Visual Studio Code. So once you build and create a repository, you won't need to have to go into your terminal to write Git commands to push or pull. You can do it right here inside of Visual Studio Code. Down here is your profile icon. You can set that up to where you can sync it to other devices, like say your phone, etc. And then also down here we have our settings. So in our settings, we can adjust the settings to configure the text editor, the workbench, all those other features. We can do that right here inside of Visual Studio Code. One that I know that I would like everyone to use is right here inside my settings. If you type the word wrap up here and then come over here to word wrap for your editor and turn that on. So that way the text that you write, it will wrap to a new line once it goes past the window instead of just stretching and creating a horizontal scroll. So also like, so when you're using say live share, and let me move this up because I know my big head is in the way on the YouTube. If I move this up right there, here you can see like go live. If I wanted to start up again a live server, that's right here. Also live share, that's located down here. You can also open up a terminal right here inside of Visual Studio Code. I don't do that just because I don't. No reason why I don't, other than I just don't. But you can do all that inside of Visual Studio Code as well. Somebody had a question or a comment. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So come over here and click settings. And then right here, search settings, just type WRAP. And the first, it's the one right there at the very top. Edit, editor, word wrap, and then turn that baby on. Type wrap, WRAP, and then you'll see it at the very top. Word wrap. Anytime you want to adjust any other kind of settings, there's auto save, a whole bunch of other configurations. The what's it called? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Not control panel. I don't remember. It'll come to me. And when it comes to me, I'll take care of it then. But any kind of configurations you want to do on the settings for Visual Studio Code, you could do it right in there. Again, everyone's is going to look different. You format it based on like, you know, what your preferences are. You don't have to have the same thing that I have. All right. But that's a little overview over Visual Studio Code. Those are some things that we need to know before we get into writing up some SQL code, which we are going to do in this very next video.